So My Hero Academia chapter 400 is finally out, and holy crap balls, I can't believe we made it this far. It's chapter 400, y'all! But anyways, with this chapter, we finally get to see the amazing turnabout and potential finale to the All Might vs. All for One fight. And to make it all the better, a special guest makes an appearance. But before we begin, don't forget to Detroit smash that subscribe button to keep up to date with all the LunchTime crew / My Hero content. And so, without further ado, let's jump right into My Hero Academia chapter 400, titled The World. This chapter opens up back over with Aoyama and Invisible Girl taking a brief moment's rest following their combo attack and defeat of the villain Kuneda. And we then see the duo, and when I say see, I mean literally, as both Aoyama and Hagakure, Invisible Girl herself, realize that she is no longer, well, invisible. And upon this realization, Hagakure also realizes that now she is also visibly naked in front of her classmates, causing her to run away from Aoyama with pure embarrassment, as she surmises that this glitch in her quirk must be caused by her heightened emotions and adrenaline in this life or death battle. She also mentions that the only other time in her life when this happened was when she found out Aoyama was the traitor. Is this hinting that Hagakure has feelings for Aoyama? No, it couldn't be, right? Regardless, as Hagakure starts to return to her invisible state, Aoyama continues to shoot out his naval laser, destroying all of the nearby plants, explaining how even though they beat Kuneda, his plants may continue to grow. So he and Hagakure need to work together to burn the roots that are growing all around and inside the heroes' bodies. And Hagakure agrees, but she also questions Aoyama, asking if his tummy can handle shooting all of these lasers, to which he replies with a slight smile on his face that he will do his best, because today is his last day as a UA student. Aww, Aoyama. But hey, I mean, Shinzo's probably happy. And following this, the story cuts right back on over to the terrifying fight of All Might and All for One, where All Might, having escaped from his own Can't Stop Twinkling attack from the previous chapter thanks to his tentacle, thrusters, and Invisible Girl optical resin support items, explains that this strategy of using a giant laser to pin down and cause massive damage to the villain, ultimately speeding up his reversing, was inspired by Star and Stripes' battle with Shigaraki, in which the hero did the very same to Shigaraki. All for One, being utterly decimated, desperately attempts to escape from the attack. However, as soon as he reaches out, All Might blasts the villain right back into it with sound waves from his earphone jack support item. Although it is vital to note that while All Might is still fighting, and while he did reduce some of the damage of All for One's previous punch thanks to his tail support item, he still took on major damage from the attack, mainly in his lower body, with him seemingly no longer being able to move his legs, which is why he is currently moving around solely by his thrusters. Yet, despite all of this damage, All Might keeps smiling, and even starts to mock All for One, stating that he was so caught up in making All Might suffer, he stupidly forgot to go for his head when he landed his attack. And I mean, he's got a point. Come on, All for One, you haven't seen Infinity War? Obviously, upon hearing this, the King of Villainy is pissed, wildly unleashing a barrage of black tendrils from his hands, some of which actually hit All Might. But again, All Might hasn't used up all of his tricks just yet, as he turns part of his armor into spheres, calling out Armor Morphing Creati. And as he shoots said spheres at All for One, they wrap around and trap his hands, restraining the villain, revealing the spheres to be support items called Grape Juice. With most of his armor either destroyed or in use, and All for One restrained, the now clearly heavily injured All Might just starts laughing, saying that while by all means he should be suffering, right now his joy is numbing the pain. The story then briefly cuts away to another country where a young boy is watching this fight on television with his grandmother. The young boy asks his grandmother what will happen if the heroes win, to which she replies, nothing. Since this fight is taking place in a faraway country, its result will probably have no effect on them. Although, despite this comment, the boy continues to watch the fight intently, and in seeing the unrelenting will of the hero, which he doesn't know the name of, he can't help but cheer him on. And following this, we cut right back to the fight, where we see the Can't Stop Twinkling machine reach its limit and explode in the sky, freeing All for One from his laser beam nightmare. However, when the smoke clears, we also see that All for One's body has reverted all the way back to a child's. A glowing child, might I add. All for One, now absolutely furious, begins to crawl out to a now not smiling All Might, declaring, "You forgot to smile, dear friend," as he begins to mutate and prepare to unleash a devastating attack on the defenseless hero. However, right as All Might is about to make his move, he freezes motionless in his tracks, as a voice calls out to him, "Everyone's blood is equally red." And it's here that we see none other than the hero killer Stain has joined the battlefield and is drinking some of All For One's blood off of a nearby debris. With his opponent now completely immobilized, fun fact, All For One's blood type is B, the blood type Stain's quirk can affect the longest, All Might rockets towards his arch nemesis one last time, as Stain, watching from above, screams out, "Go, All Might!" And that's it for chapter 400. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like. For more content like this, subscribe to the Lunchtime crew. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. It's lunchtime.